Smith became Tahoe's first white settler, and the endless march of civilization began. A Pony Express way station was established here in 1860. And now, just 100 years later, Tahoe has its first airport and its first regularly scheduled commercial airline. With this century of pioneering came progress and development. Lake Tahoe pioneers built a firm foundation on which today's young leaders are building a fabulous monument to recreation and good living. Tahoe today is one of the greatest recreational areas in the world. This is our mountain home at Tahoe Paradise, located in the peaceful Tahoe Valley on the southern tip of Lake Tahoe. We're rather proud of our development here. It was conceived especially for people like us. We're the Hansons. I'm Bob Hanson. That's me in the corduroy jacket. This is my wife, Margaret, and my mother-in-law, June. And that's our son, Bobby. I wish I had his energy, and I wish he had some of my patience. Margaret's mother and dad have flown in from San Francisco to spend the weekend with us. Here comes my father-in-law now, Bill Talbot. Yes, this is Tahoe Paradise, surrounded by snow-capped mountains, where we made the down payment on our lot 4 years ago. Just got around to building last spring. But what's 4 years when we have a lifetime to enjoy this magnificent country, a heritage that will really be a permanent part of our family's future. Evening time in the high Sierras. After an excellent dinner, there's nothing as relaxing as just taking it easy out here on the porch, drinking in the quiet serenity of the Tahoe Valley. You know, quite often as I sit here in the evenings, I think of myself as sort of a pioneer. 4 years ago, there was practically nothing here, but now, well, I have neighbors, our street is in, our home is built, changes, progress all around us. You take that mountainside over there. Even that's going to be changed. Very soon, one of the most unique mountain lodges in the world will practically cover the side of the mountain. They've taken quite a few years to come up with the right concept, and now they've completed the working plans. You know, as I see it, building on a mountainside wouldn't exactly be the easiest thing in the world. By constructing the lodge on different levels, all units blend into the rocks and trees and become a part of the natural setting. They're installing a covered moving walkway, which moves 1,200 feet right up the side of the mountain. There's only one word for it, fabulous. But then that's the way they do things up here. Well, looks like it's just about time to turn in. We want to get an early start in the morning, you know. Fishing's the best at sunrise. Within a very small radius of Tahoe Paradise, you'll find an abundance of streams and rivers cascading down from distant peaks, or quietly wending their way across the valley floor under a blanket of shade cast by towering evergreens. The ice-cold water makes for the greatest trout fishing in the world. I found the best trout fishing right here in the lower Truckee River that cuts a course right through the center of our development. And speaking of fishing, they're working on our own private lake right here, about 40 acres of it. The upper end will be strictly for fishing and swimming, and over at the far end will be a gently tapered sandy beach, so the youngsters can have their own wading and boating area. And adjacent to the lake will be the new playground area, which will include everything from tennis courts to a full-size baseball field. Well, can you imagine that? A reception committee at 7:30 a.m. We thought we were going to have the task of frying our own catch ourselves. Well, everybody had good luck this morning, even Bobby, which is quite an accomplishment for our impatient bundle of energy. Oh, I can almost smell those trout frying right now. Fresh mountain trout. Voracious appetite stimulated by this crisp morning air. Man, what a great combination. Even though we've been up here quite a few summers in a row, we're still the greatest tourists in the world. Why, even Bobby's joined the ranks of the shutterbugs. This is the original Pony Express way station building that was erected in 1860. The plaque was dedicated recently by our state senator. This now famous site will soon be surrounded by the new Tahoe Paradise shopping center. In fact, the center has already been started with the construction last spring of this modern super service station. It's of Swiss Bavarian Alpine design, which is the style to be used throughout. We'll have our own supermarket, drugstore, shops, offices, all in one area, and all under complete architectural control. A little bit further down will be our new ultra-modern motel with heated swimming pool, complete dining facilities, and cocktail lounge. And just across the street will be a new trailer park with all the conveniences of big city living. But nestled amidst the tall evergreens with a fresh mountain stream at its doorstep. Pardon me for getting carried away, but where in the world is Bobby? Oh, come on, young man. You don't want to miss Emerald Bay, do you? There isn't one stretch of the 170-mile shoreline or one finger of Lake Tahoe that isn't colorful, scenic, and quietly beautiful. But of all that its great expanse of natural glamour has to offer, there's no greater beauty to be found any place in the world than the emerald that Mother Nature placed in this setting. It's known as Emerald Bay. You can actually see the emerald green change in hue as the sun shifts its position above the craggy horizon. Anyone for a cool dip? Hope Beach is just around the corner. You know, when you see one corner of Lake Tahoe, it's hard to realize that it's actually 28 miles long and 13 miles wide. In my opinion, this entire area is a paradise, especially when it comes to, well, just plain taking it easy. In a carefree setting like this, who could have problems or worries? You know, I get a kick out of Dad. After all the times he's been up here to visit, he still hasn't figured out which is his favorite Tahoe pastime. I like the fishing part, but then, of course, I like water skiing, too. And Bobby, he's content wherever he is. Say, I know a couple of motorists who ought to take up boating. There aren't any traffic signs or speed limits out there. Imagine yourself skimming across the surface with plenty of room for making breathtaking curves, excitement and adventure at every turn of the wheel. Hey, come on over here, young man. Stand up straight now for a minute till I take your picture. Then you can get right back to that construction job. That's it. Come a little closer. Now, Bobby, I can't see you. Lad, don't look up so high. Look at me. All right, now, come on. Hold still. There. I got it. Water skiing is popular up here. But if you happen to be a beginner, like this fella seems to be, you can almost always find a quiet cove or inlet somewhere around this vast shoreline where the water is just as smooth as glass. Hey, come on, Margaret. Last one ends a chicken now. Come on, hurry up. This is the fabulous South Shore of Lake Tahoe. It's one continuous strip of entertainment and recreation. Millions visit South Shore every year. Those who don't have homes here have a choice of the many luxurious hotels. Still others bring their homes with them. Visitors arrive continuously by bus, plane, and automobile. Some stay for hours, others for days and weeks. By day, the main attraction here is sunshine, shopping, loafing, swimming, sunshine, boating and water skiing, and more sunshine. This area has received wide acclaim as the fun spot of the lake. Tahoe, where you throw your cares to the winds and where you can relax in unharried calm. We're now in Bijou, California, and here comes the state line between California and Nevada. Right at this corner. There, that was a quick trip. Here we are in State Line, Nevada. Well, there isn't a very large population here. That is not a permanent population. But there are lots and lots of guests all year round. Here's somebody I'd like for you to meet. He's one of South Shore's most famous people, Harvey Gross, one of the pioneers of State Line, Nevada. And that's his club in the background, Harvey's Wagon Wheel. He's one of us who have watched this area grow by leaps and bounds. And here's a young lady who, to the best of my knowledge, is one of the youngest headline entertainers we've ever had up here. She's Ginny, too, 6 years old and loaded with talent. Day after that friendly handshake, I'll bet I know whose show we're going to see tonight. By night, the Strip is an exciting mecca for the pleasure-minded. It's our own Monte Carlo, featuring the most plush casinos in the world. Top name stars add their glittering talent to the already glamorous surroundings. Excitement, entertainment prevails 24 hours a day on the South Shore, but it has a spectacular atmosphere after dark. The simple pleasure of dining out takes on an air of adventure with a wide variety of gourmet prepared dishes, served in an even more broad choice of settings. Hotels, motels, accommodations befitting royalty, with only one purpose in mind, to assure all guests of absolute comfort in a most pleasant atmosphere. Yes, this is South Shore. With its glamour, its excitement, a community that lives 24 hours a day, every day of the year. No matter what form of diversion from everyday life we seek, we can surely find it at Lake Tahoe. Well, today, Dad's trying to make a hiker out of Bobby. Somehow, I don't believe it's going to be too much of a problem. As for me, I think I'll stick with golf. They're going up to visit our water plant. It's another feature that we're rather proud of at Tahoe Paradise. The new 65,000-gallon storage tank that you see is large enough to handle not only our present needs, but is ample in capacity to take care of all of the area's future requirements. The Myers Water Company provides us with year-round mountain spring water at a lower cost than what I pay in San Francisco. Say, now there's a sport that I haven't tried. Horseback riding. I haven't even been over to visit the new Paradise riding stables yet. There are many areas adjacent to our development that can only be reached by horseback. Desolation Valley, which is just up the grade from us, is a typical example. It's been designated as a permanent primitive area, and the only access is by foot or by horseback. It had seemed to me, though, that just loafing along an old pioneer trail, as these folks are doing, would be relaxing. Or riding maybe at a faster pace through an open meadow would be a refreshing experience. Well, maybe next trip. After numerous years of golfing, I finally broke 100 2 seasons ago. One thing about the Paradise course, it looks as though it'd give a duffer like me a break. Well, no, I wouldn't say it's going to be the easiest course in the world, but it'll be the most interesting one I've ever played. Well, it looks like I'm on time. There's my partner for this morning. Meet Jim Wilson, president of Tahoe Paradise Homes. Behind every successful large-scale project, you'll always find a man of vision, a guy like Jim. It was his drive and foresight in making Tahoe Paradise a planned recreation area. That prompted me to settle here. Why, even this 18-hole golf course was his inspiration. Can you imagine? Especially when everybody at Tahoe knows he's the world's worst golfer. Hey, it looks like Bobby and Dad are taking it easy. On second thought, it looks like something's going on over there. This is not a permanent part of the scene here at Tahoe Paradise, but with progress and civilization comes road building. The frontiers of development are ever expanding. Those fellows manning the heavy equipment aren't just indiscriminately pushing down trees to make way for development. They're following a master plan designed several years ago by civil engineers who laid out the best possible route for roadways that take advantage of the natural terrain. And that's without destroying the natural setting. And from the looks of things, this unit should be open fairly soon. Well, for us, it's been another wonderful weekend at our mountain home. Perhaps for many of our fellow visitors, it's been a first visit to the lake. And for still others, this has been another few days at fabulous Tahoe. But there's one feeling I'm sure we mutually share. That feeling of completeness that will bring us all back again and again. The seasons come and the seasons go. And with seasonal changes, our Tahoe activities vary. Bobby learned how to ski last winter, and for the first time, I went deer hunting and shot my first buck. No, I'm not that good. Just plain lucky there was plenty of game around Tahoe Paradise. Well, thanks very much for spending the weekend with us. Drop by on your next visit. And remember, we're the Hansons. We live on Navajo Drive in Tahoe Paradise.